This project is located just north of Winona, Minnesota, along the Mississippi River in the Whitewater River bottoms. This feeds to the Mississippi River. It's an extremely sensitive wetland area, very unstable ground conditions. We have 4 feet of muck right underneath us. Dairyland Power needed to replace this existing transmission line, so we came in with our emtek Wetland Access System and helped them keep all their equipment up on top, minimize their cost, and minimize the impacts to the wetland. What we focus on at New South Access and Environmental Solutions are areas like this that are extremely sensitive, usually wetlands, that we need to access either for new construction or to maintain existing infrastructure. With our emtek Wetland Access System, we can get into these kinds of sensitive habitats at a very low cost and low impact to the environment. The emtek Wetland Access System is designed to spread weight out over a large area, and we do this with our 40-foot long runner bars placed across the area that we are trying to get access into. That's what holds up all the weight. Then we deck it with a similar mat that runs the opposite direction. That's our working surface, and that never comes in contact with the wetland. This system yields a downward pressure of 3.5 psi, or approximately half the pressure of a human footprint.
When using traditional timber mats for access in a situation like this, one of the disadvantages is you may have filled this wetland with thousands of mats. You've compacted soils, you've disrupted all the vegetation, crushed the root systems. That's going to take a long time for that to recover, if it ever recovers, because once you start to do damage like that, now you've opened the door for invasive plant species to come in and get established, and that can take over a wetland system. With the emtek Wetland Access System, we don't do that kind of damage.
When New South was developing the access plan for this particular segment, we came out and we evaluated this marsh from all angles. We waded through it, we flew over it with helicopters, we conducted a plant survey, and analyzed the hydrology. We also knew that we needed to design the access to safely accommodate a 100-ton crane, a load of nearly 135,000 pounds, while still avoiding any negative impacts to the wetland. What we found was we were able to break this down into what we call Type 3, Type 2, and Type 1 access. As we move north, it's still pretty soft, but it's not as marshy as it was. Rather than continue on our emtek Wetland Access System, that would have been costly to the client. We switched to the Type 2 access, where we run 2 40-footers parallel to each other, and we decked on top. As we move forward, we're going to continue to get drier, and we'll make another change into conventional Type 1 matting. So, we've employed 3 different types of access on this project, all designed to protect the resource. We designed the access for the ground conditions and load capacity, and saved our customer money.
This project kind of got off track when we never really froze up solid last year. Now we're on a real tight time frame, and Dairyland needed to come in here and get this piece rebuilt during the growing season. The emtek Wetland Access System, this is the only way they could get it done.
It's June 2013. We're back at the Whitewater River bottom, a few miles north of Winona, Minnesota. It's hard to believe that just 8 months ago we had heavy equipment out in the middle of this marsh, and now you can't even tell we were here. I'm standing in the exact location that our emtek Wetlands Access System came through last fall. We picked it up in October, about 8 months ago. You see behind me the wild rice, the green bulrush, arrowhead, everything's here just like it was before. You look behind me, you can't see where the access came through, and that's the goal. An acre of wetland can store up to 1.5 million gallons of floodwater, which can help avoid catastrophic flooding downstream. This is also critical waterfowl and fur bearer breeding and nesting grounds. We see ducks flying by in the background. We've got some on the water right over here. To our right, you see the duckweed, the wild rice, the invertebrates, all right here, just like they were before. It's important to note that not a dime was spent on restoration on this project. We protected the wetland exclusively through the use of our emtek Wetlands Access System. This is what we do at New South Access Environmental Solutions. We protect critical habitats for future generations.